With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
Bringing you an in-depth look at Penn State sports and more. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. The Steve Jones Show is presented by Sunbury Motor Company, Purdy Insurance, and Brewers Outlet. Now from the Sunbury Motor Studio, here's Steve Jones.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Steve Jones Show here on News Radio 1070 WKOK. Sponsored by Sunbury Motor Company, Purdy Insurance, and Brewers Outlet. I guess the big news of the day right now is the Major League trade deadline. I think most of you know by now that the Phillies acquired Johan Duran from the Twins last night for a Class A catcher. And Mick Abel, a pitcher that was up for a little bit earlier this season, and I think he was the number 4 or 5 prospect for the Phillies coming into the season. I guess the biggest player right now to have gone anywhere is Eugenio Suarez. I think people were wondering maybe if he might come to Philadelphia because of Alec Baum's injury, but it looks like he's going back to the Mariners. That broke a little late last night. The Orioles traded Ramon Urias to Houston. Houston lost their third baseman, Isaac Paradis, for the season a couple days ago. It sounds like he tore a hamstring. Also, right before we went on the air, not right before, about an hour ago, it sounds like the Padres grabbed Mason Miller from the A's and starting pitcher J.P. Sears. So we'll see how that goes. The trade deadline's 4 o'clock Eastern. John Parado will be on tomorrow to cover the trade deadline. The Pirates did make some deals as well yesterday. Center reliever to the Mariners. Brian Hayes went to the Reds. I think that's the bulk of their moves right now. It'll be interesting to see if some of the other Pirates go. The Cardinals are in sale mode. They traded. The Mets remade their bullpen yesterday. They got Tyler Rogers from the Giants, and he went out of my head. It went a little later last night. Anyway, the Mets remade their bullpen last night, picking up 2 more relievers to go along with Greg Soto from the Orioles a couple days ago. So it should be interesting right now. I'd like to see, I think people expect the Phillies to pick up another bat. That seemed to be what the beat writers said. Sounds like the Cardinals have some bats for sale. I saw the Phillies and Lars Nootbaar linked a little bit earlier today. If that would be a kind of a different kind of bat for the Phillies at the top of the lineup. So that would be an interesting pickup for them, I think. There's 3 hours left. Who knows? I think that somebody said the Twins were talking about maybe Carlos Correa. That seems to have died down a bit right now. That'd be a little surprising and it was on a trip back to Houston. So, but I think with picking up the third baseman for the Orioles, I think that kind of goes away for somewhere for Correa to land if the Twins do decide to get out from under that contract. I don't know. Twins aren't a team that get a lot of pub around here, but Carlos Correa is struggling this season and has not been playing up to his usual standard. Yesterday was the first day of Penn State practice. We discussed a little bit about that with John Sauber. Mike Portman from statecollege.com will join us tomorrow at 2:05 to discuss a little bit about that, maybe some more on some of the expansion around Beaver Stadium.
I was just trying to make sure you weren't traded.
Huh. Was I?
No.
Okay.
But, getting Duran is a big get for the Phillies. It looks like they're going to get Harrison Bader. Okay. And Bader will improve their outfield defense immensely. Okay. That's going to be a big. And I think that's a big one. I mean, Harrison can look. You split spikes, so I know he can hit with power and so forth. But he has developed into a very good defensive outfielder. That'll change some things for the Phillies. Doesn't mean he's going to start every day. Bieber goes to Toronto. He has made 3 rehab starts with Cleveland, I think with Akron. It was his last one. He had Tommy John. He hasn't pitched in a long time in the majors. So he could be an interesting one down the stretch, especially if his last start at Akron was very, very good. So they picked him up along the way. And that was a plus. McMahon won a game for the Yankees last night. Mason Miller was acquired by the Padres from the A's, but they did have to get left-handed starter. They gave up a left-handed starter, J.P. Sears, in the deal. So that was a big deal there. And there you go. It got till 4 o'clock today, and we'll see what other deals are made. Brian Hayes, of course, left the Pirates. He went to the Reds. He can't hit. I mean, that's his problem. He just can't hit. He has 2 home runs on the season. Really? They also sent lefty reliever Caleb Ferguson to Seattle for minor league right-hander Jeter Martinez, who's 19 years of age. Nobody knows how he's going to develop. Red Sox got Steven Matz, veteran left-hander from the Cardinals. Gave up first baseman Blaze Jordan, who's in the minor league system. So those are some of the deals that have been made in the last hour or so. The Mets fortified their bullpen. They got Helsley from the Cardinals, Ryan Helsley. Phillies got Duran last night. They're going to get Harrison Bader today. And Duran was, I mean, there was some expense to it. I mean, catcher Eduardo Tate, top 100 prospect, doesn't mean he'll be a top 100 major league player, but still, and Mick Abel. And he's a rookie where you have 6 years of team control, so that's what Minnesota got in the deal. No. But again, they had to get somebody for the bullpen because Jose Alvarado, the 80-game suspension, is just about up. But he can come back and he can save 15 games for them down the stretch. And guess what? He will save none in the postseason because he's not eligible.
They did say in the story last night that Duran is going to be the closer.
Yeah, I'm just saying, though. Yeah. I was saying with Alvarado, he could close. He could save 15 games down the stretch. Hey, wow, postseason, can't use him. All right. And you did not bring in Duran to you did not bring in Duran to set anybody up. You brought him in to close. Quite simply.
I do wonder if Harrison Bader is the last person they get. I still feel like they probably would need another bat.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know where they put him unless they stick him at third though at this point while Baum's out.
Yeah, or else you're expecting him to come back, and he's like the late season acquisition because you got him back. Duran is expected to join the team in Detroit. before their game tomorrow with the Tigers, okay? Tate's 18 years old. He's hitting .251 with 11 home runs. In Clearwater, Abel, of course, at one point was the first-round pick back in 2020, and was with the big club this season for the first time in his career. So there you go. And we'll see if the Pirates. Now, I read a story today in the Athletic that it looks like the Pirates are not going to deal Mitch Keller, but it said nothing about Bednar or Santana.
Well, you'd think with Duran gone that old Bednar's price is going up because there's not much. Also, not many closers out there are going to be able to throw soon. Though I did see the Astros are looking in on Class A.
Yeah.
Be well rested.
Well, right now, it doesn't mean this doesn't end before then.
Yeah.
But right now, he's being paid through August 31st. I would think deep down, you would want your. Oh, good. They finally did announce the Penn State Pitt basketball game in Hershey.
Ooh. Giant Center, I assume?
Yes, Giants. It's the first time Penn State's ever played there. And it's going to be on Sunday, December 21st. Okay? Sunday, December 21st is going to be the first. What the heck is that? I don't think it has a time. The last time they played in Brooklyn, and Penn State ran. I'll never forget, the game was in Brooklyn. They ran them out by 30 points. Penn State beat Pitt by 30, and Steph Curry was in attendance. He was taping. He had taped the Tonight Show. Was Jimmy? I don't know if Jimmy Fallon was the host back then or not. That I don't know. But he had taped the Tonight Show, and after the Tonight Show, we went to the Barclays Center. He and his wife, and they took the game in from the front row. And Tony Carr's like looking at him and pointing at him after every shot he made. Then Penn State just clobbered him, 84-54. And I remember after the game, I actually went back to the Pitt locker room because I know Kevin Stallings. His son Jacob played here for the Spikes. So Kevin actually did some radio with me that, the summer that Jacob was here.
He made it, didn't he?
Oh,
he got to the majors?
Jacob's been in the majors a long time.
I was going to say, I never realized he was Kevin Stallings' kid.
Yeah, no. In fact, his first game with the Pirates was on Father's Day, right, which was so cool for Kevin, right? And it's he's played for the Pirates. I know he's played for the Marlins. I think he played for the Diamondbacks. He's played for the Colorado Rockies. Now, Jacobs had a long career and a terrific guy, and a good, a decent major league bat and excellent defensive catcher. Always has been an excellent defensive catcher. But yeah, that's Kevin's son. And I remember Kevin. I remember when he comes up and he says, "Well, I finally was able to text you." I said, "Okay." He says, "I had to get a hold of Pat Chambers to get your number." It's like, oh, I'm sorry, Kevin. I did. Anybody could call me. Because he was just playing or he was just kidding around. That's the kind of relationship we always had. He could kid with me, I could kid with him. And so, yeah, but Kevin was the coach of that team. It was bad time, bad night for him. But I wanted to make sure I went back after the game and talked to him because I consider him to be a friend.
That's kind of this year. That's kind of two teams in kind of the same boat right now.
Yeah.
They're both going to be really inexperienced.
Yeah, no, Pitt will be. I've already done the rundown on Pitt. I've already done the workup. So I'm fortunate because they do tell me what the schedule is, so I already know who's who. So I'll freely admit I've known about the Pitt game for a couple of months now, at least, if not longer.
But because they said it's December 21st, and they said, well, it's a Sunday. I said, so in case there's a playoff game, I said, I'll be back. I'll be back in time to do the game. Either way, we'll see how it plays out. But yeah,
you would hope to be home that week, right? Or is that the first round?
That's the first round.
No, then heck, you just don't want to have a game that week then.
No, I mean, you'd like to somehow be good enough and have things work out where you get to the December 31st, January 1st dates and go from there. But yeah, it's also a Sunday. It's not opposite anything. This game is going to be Sunday, December 21st, in the Giant Center, and I've never been in the Giant Center. I have never been there. I've driven past it. I've done several games in Hershey Park Arena. Several games. I've never been in the Giant Center. So
I can give you a tour.
Well, I'm sure you've been there so many times it's ridiculous.
I was going to say it's a circle. You'll figure it out.
Oh, I think I'll figure it out. And should everything work out, that would be Arena 159. Yeah. 159. And I don't think Dick's ever done a game in there either. So Dick will add to whatever. He'll probably be up to like 174 or 175 because there is definitely an arena in the non-con that he will get that I won't be able to get because it's opposite a Penn State football game in November. So...
You can't let him get too much of a lead.
Yeah, I know.
Just don't battle high school gyms, I would guess.
Well, yeah, he's been to a whole bunch of those, too. Yeah. Yeah. So... Yeah. But yeah, then we'll see what happens. I still have the one thing I don't know is the Big Ten sequencing of games. I know who they're playing. Just like in football, I know who they're playing through 2028. It's just a question of what the sequence happens to be. But yeah, I just have to, I mean, I know they're supposed to play at Washington and Oregon, and we'll see if that falls into place with the football schedule, because USC and UCLA did last year, but I just don't know. I'll have to see, because I've never even been to the states of Oregon and Washington before. And for basketball, they'll do home and aways with Ohio State, Rutgers, and Michigan. The games at home, and most of these, if not all, I mean, the last couple of years, one's been at Rec Hall, one's been at the Plestra, but the home games, Illinois, Iowa, Michigan State, Minnesota, UCLA, USC, Wisconsin, and the away games, okay, these are the away one plays. They'll go to Assembly Hall, play Indiana, go down to Xfinity, play Maryland at College Park, out to Pinnacle Bank to play Nebraska in Lincoln. They'll play at Wintrust against Northwestern in Evanston. They've got to go to the Knight Center to play Oregon. They go to Mackey Arena to play Purdue, and they go to Heck Edmondson Pavilion to play Washington. Those are the away games. Those are the big. Now the question will be, and we're about 6 weeks away from finding out what the sequencing of games will be, dates, times, things like that. That's what I mean by sequencing. But Penn State and Pitt will play Sunday, December 21st at the Giant Center. There's no time yet for that game. And because I don't know whose home game, it's a neutral site game, but I don't know if somebody's designated as a home team. And the only reason why is depending on who's designated as the home team, it tells you what TV is.
And officials, right?
That's in the contract.
Yeah.
That's in the contract. A game like that, neutral site game, that's in the contract as to who's, what officials are there. Could be a combination, could be one side or the other, but the officials part, that's agreed upon. The TV part has to be determined by the designation as to technically whose home game it is, because, Penn State doesn't have a contract with ESPN, all right, or the ACC network. Conversely, Pitt doesn't have a contract with Fox, Big Ten Network, or NBC and Peacock. So you see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the way I have to determine who gets what out of that game. And it's also being on a Sunday during the NFL season. I don't know.
It's got BTN or ACC network written all over it, probably.
Right, exactly. Or you could go Peacock.
Yeah, Peacock.
I mean, it could be Peacock. I mean, I don't know, because they don't carry the NFL. I mean, well,
they do the Sunday night game though. They stream the Sunday night game.
Yeah, this game is. I'm 98% sure.
Well,
this game is not a Sunday night game.
Honestly, if they're smart, they'll make sure that it's not scheduled against the Steelers and the Eagles that day either.
Well,
I mean, you might not. You might. If one plays at 1 or at 1 and 4, I don't know how you do it, but
well, easy enough to look up.
Yeah,
December 21 NFL schedule, because some of those games are. I think the Eagles play on Saturday anyway. Okay. I think the Eagles play on Saturday that weekend. 2025 NFL season, blah, 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 blah. Week bomb, and that would be week 16. Week 16, The Eagles do play on Saturday the 20th against Washington, and that game is to be determined on Fox. The Steelers play a 4:25 game at Ford Field against Detroit on CBS.
I'm guessing noon, 1 or 2.
Yeah, I would think that would be it, because the Eagles won't be an issue. They will have played on Saturday, and the Steelers will play that Sunday at 4:25.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that late.
Wow, that's good conversation.
This episode is brought to you by San Pellegrino Ciao, a new kind of flavored sparkling water. The kind made with real fruit juice, a pinch of Sicilian salt, and the sparkle of the Italian sun. With no added sugar and just 10 or less calories per can, enjoy. With love, from Italy. By San Pellegrino Ciao now.
Goes
Hi, this is Season. For over 100 years, the Purdy Insurance Agency has been protecting families and businesses of the greater Susquehanna Valley and beyond. With the experience of our trained and knowledgeable staff, you can rest assured that your needs will be evaluated and met by some of the industry's best representatives. No matter what your insurance needs are, call Purdy Insurance today at 570-286-5855. Visit our website at purdyinsurance.com or check us out on Facebook to see what we can do for you.
You an in-depth look at Penn State sports and more. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. The Steve Jones Show is presented by Brewers Outlet, Sunbury Motor Company, and Purdy Insurance. Now from the Sunbury Motor Studio, here's Steve Jones.
Great to have you with us on the show today. Brought to you by Purdy Insurance, Market Street in Sunbury. Go to purdyinsurance.com. Auto, home, life, business, boat, motorcycle, RV. Do a great job of, and Medicare products even. Yeah, they do a great job of making sure you're fully covered, fully insured. And above all, they do a great job of saving you money wherever they can, because customer service is an absolute priority to them. It is all at Purdy Insurance, Market Street in Sunbury. Go to purdyinsurance.com. So there you are. So, yeah.
I said earlier in the half hour that maybe the Phillies go get another bat, and Harrison Bader wasn't it. I did not realize that Harrison Bader was having a better hitting season than any Phillies outfielder this season.
Yeah,
so
no.
I was apparently wrong.
No, Bader's a good player.
Well, he's really struggled the last couple of years. I did not realize he had turned it around.
At the plate with the Yankees and the Mets, he struggled. But as a defensive player, he's always been a cut above. He's got more power than Rojas does. I mean, Rojas may be a little bit better defender, but that's the difference. He's only a little bit better of a defender. And, I mean, Bader's got power. I mean, he's not going to be a 30 home run guy, but he's got some power.
The odd part is he actually hasn't played much center this year because of Buxton. He's been playing left.
Right, exactly. Yeah, but he can. He could play any one of the three outfield positions. That's not an issue at all. He can play any one of the three. So that is, he can do a lot. Now the question is, will he continue to perform well at the plate? That part, we don't know. We'll have to see about that.
Hopefully he's not on the Austin Hayes plan.
Oh, that's just so right. It's like, hey, we got him. It's like, he's not that good. Oh my God, no. No wonder they dealt him to us. They knew.
And now he's who we thought he was with the Reds.
Yeah, of course. Great. That's why. Remember, a long time ago, Walt Jocketty, who had a distinguished career as a general manager, Reds, Cardinals for a long period of time. I think Walt was with the A's at one point, too. When he was with the Cardinals, he came to State College because the Spikes were a Cardinals affiliate. And I sat down, we were just chit-chatting one day, and I said to Walt, I said, so let me ask you something. I said, how important is it for you as a GM to not only know what you're acquiring, but how important is to also know what you're giving up? And he goes, he says, Steve, that's why I'm here looking at our single A players. He says, we may take somebody and throw them into the deal. He says, I want to see it for myself as to, like, what do we have here? Right? Now, you never want to rip off, despite what people think, oh, that trade was a rip-off. You never want to rip another team off. In other words, you always want to be considered to be a good trading partner. Now, the player works out, whatever. If it doesn't work out, it's just because the player didn't work out, not because the other team fleeced you. And because you want down the road, you want to be able to maybe trade again with this team. So you want to be considered to be a professional, good partner. And so, and that's what he says. He says, Steve, that's the whole ball game. He says, he said, believe me, we do a lot of research on who we're acquiring. He says, but we're taking all the research we can, and we want to make sure we know what we're giving up. So I'll give you an example. The Cardinals may have been inclined to throw a catcher into a trade. Why? Because they had Yadier Molina. Okay? And I always referred to it as the Yadier Molina effect when the Cardinals and Spikes were together, because every time Molina went on the IL, every single catcher in the organization went up a spot. Suddenly the guy that was in Springfield went to Memphis. Suddenly the guy in Peoria went to Springfield. Suddenly the guy in State College went to Peoria. Suddenly the guy in Johnson City went to State College. Boom. And then Molina comes off the IL. Cardinals back to Memphis, Memphis back to Springfield, Springfield back to Peoria, Peoria back to State College back to Johnson City. All right. So I always called that the Yadier Molina effect. But you'd be also inclined to deal a guy. And if you notice at one point, then John Mozeliak took over as the Cardinals GM, and I think John's dad, if I recall talking with John, I think his dad went to Penn State, something like that. And if you notice a guy named Carson Kelly, who's in the majors now with the Cubs, he hit for the cycle earlier this year. When the Cardinals needed to make a trade with Arizona, Kelly was in the deal. Why was Kelly in the deal? Because he was the backup catcher to Yadier Molina. And it turns out that Kelly's been a starter in the majors behind the plate. But again, he wasn't going to replace Yadier Molina.
That was always one of those fun. You knew when he was getting older is when that stopped. The catchers stopped going out of the system because one of those guys was going to ended up having to replace him.
Right, exactly. The Phillies, by the way, gave up outfielder Hendry Mendez and right-handed pitcher Jeremy Valoria,
who is 16 apparently.
Yep.
So, speaking of no idea what he's going to be.
Yeah. Duran. Look, Kepler has not been what they thought he would be. Brandon Marsh has been up and down. Okay. Bader has won a Gold Glove in his career. And this year, look, he's hit 12 home runs. He's stolen 12 bases. He's hitting .258. He's having one of his better offensive years.
I mean, it's the Phillies. He's going to bat seventh.
Yeah,
that's perfectly
right.
Acceptable.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you can get production out of that spot in the batting order, great. The Tigers made a trade. They got Kyle Finnegan from the Washington Nationals. So that bolsters their bullpen. They already picked up Paul Sewald from the Guardians on Wednesday. So Washington's now traded 5 players in 4 different deals since Friday.
Yeah. Well, when they're the way they've been playing, the last couple of years, might as well get something for those guys.
Now, as for the Tigers, why are they making these deals? Quite simply this. Their bullpen ranks 27th in the majors at ERA. Finnegan averages 96.2 miles per hour on his fastball. So he's got great stuff. But the Tiger bullpen is 27th in Major League Baseball in team ERA.
And you can tell what these teams are doing, too. That's, these teams fully expect to be playing in the postseason. And like the Mets, or the Padres, they're kind of setting up, their 7th, 8th, and 9th inning already.
Right.
Are you going to want to go face the Padres with Mason Miller and Suarez back-to-back?
No. No.
That is a lot of gas.
It's a lot of gas, is right. Yankees are up 6-0 into 2. You can tell it's early in the game. Giancarlo Stanton did hit a home run. Doesn't hit any home runs past the 4th inning. Postseason last year he did. So on this trade deadline day, the Blue Jays lead the Yankees by 4, Red Sox by 5. Detroit leads Cleveland by 9, Kansas City by 9.5. Houston leads Seattle and Texas by 5 each, because Texas and Seattle are tied at 57 and 52. The Mets lead the Phillies by a half game. Milwaukee leads the Cubs by 1, Cincinnati by 7.5. The Dodgers lead the Padres by 3. The Giants are now under 509 back, because the Giants have lost 6 in a row.
It's not going well out there when the Pirates sweep you.
And the Pirates are playing well, by the way.
Yeah, they're playing better, yeah.
No, their pitching is terrific. Their offense still is just a horror show. The Pirates have actually scored fewer runs than the Colorado Rockies. Not good. Wild card right now, National League wild card. It's the Cubs and the Phillies in the top two spots. The Padres have the third spot, and the Padres have a 3-game cushion over Cincinnati for that third spot. Cardinals are 5.5 back. In the American League, the Yankees and Red Sox have the top two spots. Seattle and Texas are tied for the third spot. Cleveland's 2.5 back. Kansas City and Tampa Bay are 3 back. The Angels, by the way, are 4 back, but they're also 3 games under 500. So there you go. Those are the standings on trade deadline day.
It is kind of surprising that the Guardians and the Cardinals are so close to that last wild card, and both have been big sellers.
I think, there's certain decisions you have to make.
Yeah.
And John's obviously made a decision on the Cardinals, and the Guardians have made decisions. Said, hey, look, this isn't working. Now, they didn't trade Jose Ramirez, right?
No.
So, so let's. But they made other deals, and Bieber, by the way, hasn't pitched for them this year. Right? He's doing minor league rehab stats right now.
The Blue Jays thought he was pitching well enough to add him for their stretch run. You'd think,
they're rolling the dice. They've got Gausman, and they've got, they've got Bassett. They have a good rotation. Yeah. So, they can roll him out as a 5th or 6th starter and see if they get something out of him in that spot. Okay.
It is also pretty wild that the Tigers have played so poorly since the All-Star break, and they're still almost have a double-digit lead. Yeah,
but a little better, though, in the last week.
Yeah.
A little bit better in the last week.
I was going to say, it shows you how good they were from the start and how poor the rest of the AL Central has been so far this year.
That's a flip of where they were a year ago. Remember, they played poorly the first couple of months of last season, and then all of a sudden, whoa, hey, Detroit's in the playoffs? How about that? Yeah. And that's what, so, and any losing streak that they have, that's one of the great advantages of having a guy like Skubal or a Zach Wheeler or, like a guy like that or Garrett Crochet, right? It keeps you from long losing streaks. You can steal one, pick up one here and there. Right. Penn State football opened up yesterday. Practice 2 is today. Going to be a little cooler out there today. It's like it was in the mid-90s yesterday out there. It was hot.
It feels like a whole different part of the country today.
Yeah, no, it feels a lot better. Yeah, feels a lot better. But, yeah, off and rolling. There's nothing to conclude out of day one. Nothing. You just want to make sure day 2 is better than day 1. Then tomorrow's an off day, and then you want to make sure day 3 is better than day 2. That's what you're looking to do. It sounds, oh, please, don't talk like that. Oh, no, that's called reality. People want all these answers justifiably. People want all these answers about where things are, after one day. So I understand that. But, it's a question of winning the next day, and it's a question of stacking days. And you want to stack days. If you can stack 5 or 6 days in a row, now you're really getting a lot better as a football team. That's what, that's what you're looking to do.
That was going to be my point. That's my new favorite coach thing.
Stacking days?
Stacking days.
Yeah.
This is stacking days time.
Yeah. That's what you're looking to do. But James will meet with the media Saturday, as will the coordinators. I think the media gets a chance to talk with the players too.
Yeah, that's when you talk to everybody.
Yeah, it's Saturday's media day. All right, back with more in a moment on News Radio 1070 WKOK, brought to you by Purdy Insurance.
Party time, game time, or just fun time. Doesn't matter what time it is because it's Brewers Outlet time. The beverage supermarket has the area's largest beer selection. Imports, microbrews, ciders, and domestics. Pick from over 100 ice-cold 12-packs and dozens of 24-ounce singles. Soda, snacks, hot sauces, fresh roasted peanuts. Make it one-stop party shopping, and don't forget the pickle bar. So whatever you're celebrating or just doing it up, Brewers Outlet, Reagan Street, Sunbury wants to see you. And thank you for your years of patronage.
So day 2 for Penn State football practice. Basketball practice for the summer is winding down. They'll go today, tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then that'll be it for the summer until they come back. And they announced today that they will be playing Pitt in the Giants Center on Sunday, December 21st. So that announcement was made today, the time of the game and so forth. Details on that still have to be released on that. For Penn State, they're getting ready for, of course, the opener, and that will be Nevada in Beaver Stadium. They will not lock in on Nevada till right around August 18, 17, 18, somewhere around there. You have to get the team ready, and then from there you can get, and you're going to have extra practices to get ready for Nevada. That's not an issue. They're actually going to get into the stadium, I think, at least 3 times, maybe 4 during the preseason, which is good. Last year, I'm trying to think last year. They got in last year. They did not get into Beaver Stadium once in the spring. Except, I should say that. That's actually the day before the Blue-White game. They did a walkthrough in Beaver Stadium. The day before the Blue-White game. I remember, because I do remember James and I were talking about how big the footprint was for the temporary seats as we were walking around the field. So, half hour brought to you by Purdy Insurance. Marcus Free in Sunbury. Go to purdyinsurance.com here on News Radio 1070 WKOK.